Good morning, Michelle Saxman here, and ready to share with you some time with Jesus Calling by Sarah Young on January the 31st. All right, I am your Lord. I am your strength. I am your shield. I have prepared the day for you. So now sit down, commune with me so I can then prepare you for the day. I would actually even have to say we're on January 31st. That's probably one of my bigger aha takeaways was that shift in perspective. It's not about preparing the day. It's about preparing me for the day, knowing that we can get caught up and anxious and worried. And when that happens, we need to stop that wheel from spinning, take a different perspective, take a couple of deep breaths, bring ourselves closer to the center, embrace, steep in, accept that level of peace, receive that level of discernment, change the brain train, change the neurochemistry out of fight or flight, problem solving and worry, and into his powerful presence of peace. Then he will provide the strength for today. We waste energy. The brain takes up about 2% of the body's weight, but about 20% of the body's energy. That is how powerful our mind is. Our thought life has an impact on every cell in our body. So, using our mind to anchor and connect with our Creator and our Source, surrendering the controlling of the circumstances to see the journey and the joy that He has planned in this day. The readings for today, the first one is Psalm chapter 28, verse 7. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in Him and I am helped. My heart leaps for joy and I will give thanks to Him in song. My heart trusts in Him. The seat of my soul trusts in Him, regardless of the external circumstances. That brings me tremendous peace. My mind might drift, my thoughts might drift and wander and worry, but my heart is tethered toward His peace. The next reading is Matthew chapter 6, verse 34. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Understanding in our human form, remembering God has a tremendous sense of humor, and He's like, it's okay to be human. Well, that's good because that's the way you designed me. He knew that this would be a fallen, broken, fractured planet, and that is why He sent a Savior. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Stay focused on the day. Don't worry, anticipate, and also don't spend too much time in reverse with blame and shame, regret and remorse. His powerful presence is experienced in the present moment. The next reading is Psalm chapter 56, verses 3 and 4. When I am afraid, I will trust in you. In God, whose word I praise, in God I trust, I will not be afraid. What can mortal man do to me? This was when David was actually being chased by family and friends. David is being chased by his best friend and his friend's father, the king. And you guys, he says eventually, what does worry get me? What can man do? I know my true source. I will trust in you. So, building that trust muscle and doing it in small things. So, when the big things come, it's easier to pull back and into that default setting and build that reservoir of peace in his heart. The final reading is Genesis chapter 28, verse 15. I am with you and will watch over you wherever you go, and I will bring you back to this land. I will not leave you until I have done what I have promised you. Had to look this one up because I think so much happens in the chapter of Genesis, and God really has me spending some time back there in the beginning. And in this one, Jacob and his mom, Rebecca, have just played hijinks, if you will, and been very deceitful to Isaac because he was supposed to give the blessing to Esau. And instead, Rebecca had a favorite son in Jacob, and they kind of switched some things, and he got the blessing to Jacob. Anyway, Jacob, they don't want him to marry a Canaanite woman, so they want Jacob to leave and go find another woman from another tribe. So, again, how many times is it going to be that God says, I am with you? Wherever you go, I am with you. He said it to Abraham. It was a message through Isaiah. And yet, here again, back in Genesis, I am with you and watch over you wherever you go. To some people, that is kind of, they might have some resentment, and it is very unsettling to think God is always with me. But you guys, to those of us who want to be transformed, it is a tremendous sense of peace knowing we can always tune in, tap in, breathe in His powerful presence. It is January the 31st, and I'm just going to quickly go back to the reading and the mantra for the month. And that was, I should have had it marked for us, Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. And right there on January 1, we were invited to come with a teachable spirit, ready and eager to be changed and transformed, acknowledging our human default neurochemistry, the thoughts and feelings of the culture, and beginning to allow ourselves to shift and crave His powerful presence, making Him the focus of our day. So y'all have a super blessed day. If you've got some great takeaways for the month of January, put them in the comments down below. Speak life and encourage one another. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.